machine is a very high-speed scanner and sorter that is taking a picture of each ballot envelope and reading the barcode. So for every single ballot that's generated for every single election, for every single voter, there is a unique ballot ID number that comes with that. And that is what it gets used to actually count the ballot in our system and determine that that's the only ballot that was generated for that individual and returned from that individual. So if we get a ballot back that doesn't have this unique ID number that matches that voter that's for this election, that unique 9-digit number, then that ballot would be rejected by our system.
The system will only accept one ballot per voter for their record. So no one can vote more than one ballot. And then it works also in conjunction with our in-person voting. So for example, if someone went to an in-person vote center and they had already submitted that ballot with that 9-digit number and they had been given credit of having returned their ballot and they tried to vote in person, the poll pads that have the database would show that that person had already voted or submitted their ballot, and then the poll worker would see that they'd already voted. So it's connected, and vice versa. And it makes it so an individual can only vote once.
It is recording that we've received that ballot from that individual voter.
The affidavit on the envelope has to be signed, and it's a sworn affidavit, and then we verify every single signature for every by-mail ballot returned, and it's compared to the record or the signature on record for that voter. Most of them are done by an automated system in our ballot processing machine and software. But if it can't be verified by that, then they may have to be done manually. And we can look at other documents in the system and see if a connection can be made and that signature can be verified.
But so she's looking at this signature again. This is what was on the ballot. And this is what was what is in our file. That's in VISTA, in the state registration database. And she's going to look at a lot of different signature characteristics to determine if that signature, if she's highly confident that that signature matches what we have on file.
If it can't be, we send the voter what we call a cure letter. And so they have the opportunity to resolve that. And the cure letter has an affidavit and some other information like their birth date, driver license number, social security, last 4 digits, that they can then send back the affidavit on that cure letter and tell us that that is their ballot and have it accepted and tabulated.
Now we're ready to open the ballot. So up until this point, the ballot has been secured in the envelope. We haven't even opened it. We don't know what's inside. We haven't done any of that. So now we're ready to open and extract the envelope. So now she's set that aside. Now we have a ballot that is secured safely in the secrecy envelope, and this is the process where we're finally able to open that and then get it ready for final tabulation. So this is a process where she's separating it from the security sleeve. This information that is preserved right here, this has all of the information about when this came in, when we scanned it, and this is preserved throughout this entire process. But now it's ready to be scanned. So they'll come in those secure cages. They come all the way over here to our tabulation room, and then they're ready to scan them. Now, at this point in the election, we don't know any of the results from the election. So it is scanning and capturing the image of the ballot so that it can tabulate it, and it will be tabulated on election night. This room is air-gapped. There is nothing in this room that is connected to the internet. It doesn't even have the hardware to enable it to connect to the internet. These scanners are high-speed Canon scanners. and what they do is they scan the image of the ballot, and then they send everything over to our server. That's what the connection is. It connects to the server, and then it stores those so that it stores the image of every ballot with every oval that was selected for every candidate, so that after the polls close on election night, we can tabulate those results and see where we are in the results process as well. We have windows available so that people are welcome to see and get up close and see what we're doing in here. So they'll scan an entire deck box at one time. And that's the process where I had mentioned earlier. It's going to pop up and say there were 100 ballots in this batch, or 97 or 77, and they have to go through and make sure that they accounted for scanning each and every one of those ballots. So they scan that. They're going to ensure that it's every ballot scanned correctly based on the number at the end. They seal it. There is a security seal that goes along with this. And then they go back and log it again. And then once it's sealed, it's going to be the same process that they're logging, that they completed that batch, and that it's ready to go up to our vault. There's security measures built into our process so that if something doesn't make it onto the cart, our system will flag that. If there's not the correct number, even if the operator of the scanner forgot to do that, our system will flag that. We have all these fail-safes in place to ensure that everything goes through this process and is logged correctly.
The idea that's been circulated that somebody could inject ballots into our system from an outside source, ballots printed in their living room, ballots from China, it cannot happen because of the correlation of that 9-digit ID number that's connected to each registered voter in our statewide database. Plus, we have this certain envelope with the barcode, and we have our ballots that are prepared on a certain weight paper and stock. The envelopes are specific, and the idea that anyone could replicate that and assign a unique ID number that would fit into the system, it just can't be done. It wouldn't go through our system.